So hey, again, congratulations. We've closed on your transaction. As I've warned you in these other videos, the stuff bombarding you and the letters, the information about getting different programs, probably one of the biggest benefits about VA is what's called a VA IRRRL, an interest rate reduction refinance loan is what that acronym stands for. And it's one of the coolest features that VA came out with in basically the early 80s when rates were surpassing 16, 17%. Us veterans, in order to go through and do a refinance, we had to do an appraisal, we had to do all these things. VA came out with a program to allow us to mimic or lower when rates come down without having to absorb all those other costs to go through and do it. So it's probably one of the biggest benefits of the VA program, but it's also one of the biggest abused program where people solicit, they chase you based on rate, or they chase you based on missing payments, a lot of different things in that. So let me break it down and explain a little bit more in detail, kind of how the program, what it's designed for, what it benefits you, and how it goes through and works. So right off the bat, the VA now put rules in place that you have to wait 210 days past your first payment before you're eligible to go through and do it. The reason for that, it was a great law they put in. People were churning loans. There was companies out there that were just basically every 2 months soliciting veterans to redo their loan. They were never keeping them. They were just doing it based on skipping the 2 payments or getting a little bit of cash back. And that abuse factor became, for the VA put that rule in, you had to wait 210 days to go through and be able to do it again. So we love that rule. We love waiting, making sure it's the right decision. Also, you're hitting the rates at the right point to be able to go through and make it work. So now let's jump forward to, okay, the decision, we're gonna go through and do it. When does it become beneficial? The same time they put that 210-day rule, VA put in net tangible benefits for the veteran in order for them to be able to go through and do it. You got to at least be going down 0.5% in interest rate. You got to at least be dropping your payment by $50. There's a lot of factors that go in place before you want to go through and do it. And then there's a recoup period, which we love that factor, is VA wants to make sure you're receiving your money back for what you're doing within 36 months. I always tell people there's 3 categories. And when the person calls you on the phone, they send the mailer to you, they're trying to tap into one of those categories to get you excited. Are you looking for that amazing interest rate? You know, you're failing to see the stuff on the bottom, this is an ARM or a different thing. Or are you looking for to skip 2 months worth of payments, you know, the cost factor and stuff that's involved? Or is your main consideration is trying to lower your payment by as much as possible? I tell everyone you really want to have all 3 variables in place basically when you go through and make this decision. Obviously, we want our rates to go down. Obviously, we want to save a certain amount of money. And at the same time, we don't want to put too much money in the back end of our loan. But what is our long-term plan? Are we staying in this house? Are we going through and doing it? If you plan on being there for a long time period, the recoup factor is beneficial, but you want to make sure you're obviously doing a 30-year fix. So my old saying, I've been saying it forever, I've talked more people out of doing the VA IRRRL than in doing it. And then the best thing about it is patience. I mean, that's the big thing, is have your number you're looking for, have your threshold you want. And when it achieves that, that's when you would go through and execute that plan. We have a lot of people over time that will come back and will hit that number and they'll come back and say, I want to see if it's going to go lower. I want to see if it's going to get better. In those cases, so many people, you know, when the rates do drop just a little bit, they tend to go back up, spike back up, which they obviously have proven over the last few years. So definitely when it hits your number, you definitely want to go through and take advantage of it to go through and do that. And then there's perks about it. Yes, you can skip up to 2 months worth of payments. We don't suggest that every single time, but there are benefits if you do skip 2 months worth of payments. And let's say you're saving $100 on your loan per month and skipping that 2 months. I always tell people, what do you do with that 2 months payments? Are you paying that money to pay off another debt? Are you putting yourself in better position? Are you able to take that capital, maybe put a roof on the house? Are you doing something that's really beneficial to go through? There are cases where I would recommend skipping. But if you're skipping 2 months payments just because it makes you feel good, sometimes you're obviously adding that at the back of the loan. It's defeating some of the purposes of it. So you just want to be really careful about making those decisions and definitely receive counseling to make sure it's the right thing for you to go through and do. So any other topics about it? Obviously, you know, benefiting, you can do it multiple times. I've had myself, I've gone through when I bought my house, you know, I was just below 10%. I did it 6 times in the course of 5 years and obviously lowered my payment each and every time. There's not very many other loans you could do this with, by the way. Other types of loans, you got to reappraise it every time. You got to pay the tremendous exorbitant costs. VA, there's no out-of-pocket expense. It's very limited when you go through and do it. It's just the title company fees and stuff that are added to the backside of the loan and obviously those payments missed. but it's not absorbent as expensive as it is on other type of transactions. So I know there's a lot with the VA IRRRL. There's probably a lot more questions you have, a lot more insight I can go through and give you, me and my team. Always love to sit down with you and kind of find out if it's the right thing for you. And be patient, like I said again. If you're chasing it or you're forcing it to happen or you're being convinced on the person on the phone of why you need to do it, always be cautious about it. You know, how much are you adding to the back end of the loan? What negativity or what positive basically comes out of it? Take the time to go through, do that research, and we'd love to go through and help. Please reach out to me and my team anytime. Looking forward to going through and doing that with you. Thanks.